G'day, Mark, the Bit of Tech Skier, and coming to you from Integrate 2024, and I'm standing with Cameron Lucas, Technical Manager at MadisonAV. Mate, we're standing here in front of what is now ADI Icron.
Yeah, we just think of it as Icron still, but yeah, it's ADI Icron, yeah.
The reason we're standing in front of this is because of that thing that we all use, USB, right? It's actually finicky, it's painful to work with, and it's actually really hard to extend.
Sure, but you also can't avoid it because lots of peripherals use it.
Yeah, but everything uses it. Yeah. So, but Icron have been an industry leader quite some time.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are Icron so good at what they do? What is it?
I think realistically, it's probably the effort they've put into the R&D.
Yeah.
So they have obviously their own proprietary technology. So they call that Extreme USB.
Yeah.
So you'll see that any of their products that have Extreme USB on it, which is all of their products, use the same technology, and it's obviously been proven to be reliable and works every time.
Yeah. Right. Cool. They've actually got a couple of new products here today.
Yep.
One is this. Now we're calling this
it's a cross-point switcher.
Cross-point switcher. So it's not an auto switcher. It's not a.
Actually, it can be set as an auto switcher. There is an automatic mode. So what it is that it's a switcher for 4 peripherals, and you can connect it to 4 hosts.
Right.
And there is an automatic mode, so you can have a last connected. We'll get all of the devices connected to it. So there's an auto mode.
Yep.
But I'm not sure why that would actually be that useful. I guess it could be useful in like a BYOD scenario. So if you had a bunch of peripherals connected into it in like a meeting room or a training room, then you could have, it doesn't matter who comes and plugs in, but the last person that plugs in gets their peripheral. So don't necessarily need a control system to switch it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that would be friendly. So it's a cross-point switcher because you can't share USB devices. But what we can do is we can route any of those 4 peripheral ports to any of the 4 host ports.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can have all to one, or you can split them so that only 2 go to one port or one goes to the other, and we can change it on the fly. There's a web UI, and there's also RS-232 control.
So that's how you get in. So you browse to it. So it sits on the network, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, and then or you can just get the RS-232 commands and.
Yeah, that's right. So if you've got a control system that you want to use, like AMX.
Yeah, of course.
You would have that just deliver commands to it based on whatever configuration. Again, back in the training room or boardroom type scenario, if somebody wants to plug in at the front of the desk or you're using the resident PC, you just call that preset on the system. It's going to send a command to it to change the ports to switch through. Yeah.
So it's really just keyboard KVM sort of stuff switching here?
No, not necessarily. So it's full bandwidth USB 3, and it's got USB-C connectivity on it.
Yeah.
So whether that's cameras, could be storage devices, anything that is just regular USB, that can pass through it.
Right, excellent. Sounds like a cool product.
Yes.
Is it available now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
The other product that's now available here, well, I'm assuming this is available and shipping. Yeah, is the 321 Raven.
So not the 321 is actually in reference to the USB standards that it supports. So it supports USB 3, USB 2, and USB 1.
Gotcha.
The actual model number is a 3204C.
Let's go with 321 Raven.
That's actually a bit confusing because all of the Ravens support USB 3, USB 2, and USB 1.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
it becomes important.
I can explain the model number. The 3 is that it's USB 3. The 2 is about its connectivity. The 0 is about where it gets its power from, and the 4 is how many ports it's got, and the C means that it's got USB-C connectivity.
Okay.
Gotcha. This particular model is the Pro version because it supports isochronous. So
there's a word that I've seen and I've read and over time and I've seen that bandied around everywhere. It's even up here. I saw it somewhere.
Yeah. So here. Isochronous. Yep.
Yeah. What is that? What does it mean? Why do we need to know about it?
Sure. It's a particular USB transport protocol.
Yeah.
So there's 2 main ones, which is bulk, and there's isochronous. Isochronous is about time-sensitive information.
Right.
So for a lot of cameras use it. So main ones are probably Lumens, Ava, and Logitech that we come up against, or that we talk to people about.
Yeah.
and so those cameras specifically need or they use isochronous transport. So if you put an extender in there that doesn't support that, the video doesn't actually get to the host at the right time, and it just won't display the video.
That's a common thing. I've certainly come across that, and it's really easy to just go and buy a great, you go and put Icron in. I certainly use this myself and go, but I actually sometimes I don't know why it fixes it.
Sure.
Probably the reasoning
it could be,
why
yeah. So if you're ever unsure, you can either get in touch with us or on Icron's website. It's also on our website. There's a pretty easy list that says what camera model and whether they recommend to use the Pro or the non-Pro or the regular.
Sure.
So like PTZ Optics is an example. That's something that actually uses bulk transport, and so you don't need to use the Pro. Some people like to standardize on the Pro though because it just works for both.
Yeah, okay. So you can use bulk and isochronous
on the Pro.
On the Pro.
So the Pro adds isochronous, it doesn't take anything away.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. And so these units are essentially USB over IP.
So it can be, yeah. So these ones will support a link via a network connection as well. It does need to be a 10 gig link to support the full bandwidth of USB 3.
So it's 10 gig copper.
Yes. Yeah, they don't have an SFP. It's just a copper port. In some of the other models, like the one that you're resting on, that one's actually got an SFP on. So this one is fiber, but this is only the non-Pro version.
So really, you're just going to be using these. Where are you going to use? What's the use case? I suppose that this is going to solve the problem for everyone.
So pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I've seen them deployed in universities, often with cameras for lecture capture.
Oh, of course.
So that's a pretty common thing that they actually stick the RECs. So we also talk about LECs and RECs because that defines which end goes at which end, because it's not like there's a transmitter and a receiver because it's bidirectional. Yeah, sure. But so you deploy the RECs with the camera. So it would sit with the camera. Then they just plug it into their either their network infrastructure or into some structured cabling and just patch it directly through. Yeah. And so can these run PoE? No, not that one. The USB 3 stuff is all locally powered because it's designed to be able to also provide power to your peripherals. And the power supply that comes with that one, I think, is over 30 watts. So it's not really PoE friendly. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So this is all available now. Yes. There's also a big range of Icron products there that just solve problems, don't they? Yeah. So if people want to know more about Icron, where can we find more information? Probably the best thing is come to our website. It's MadisonAV.com.au. You'll find that there's actually a pick list on there which will show all of the Icron range. So it's easy to start with how many ports you need or what kind of USB you need. Sure. And then there's a shorter list of what's your transmission media and what kind of distance you want to go as well. Okay. Yeah, because some of the products plug it all in and tells you what product you need. Exactly. Yeah. It's a product picker. Yeah. Yep. It's a great solution, mate. There's plenty of information at the Madison website, as Cameron's just said, or you can get on the phone, talk to tech support from Madison. They're great for tech support, and it's kudos to you. All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, no worries. Cheers.